Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hi, good evening, guys. Good evening, all. Good evening, Facebook. Hope you're all well. Hi, Al. We have a Mr. Al Carlton with us tonight. So, very good. Well, good afternoon to you, Al. We'll let you kind of introduce yourself in a moment. I just want to check this goes live. So, if anyone is watching and can see this, you could drop a like. That would be fantastic. Cool. I think there's a few likes and things coming through now. That's great. So yeah, if you want to drop a like, drop a comment, say where you're watching from, that'd be fantastic. It just helps send this out to the Facebook feed. So yes, we've got four or five people watching now, so that's great. Okay, great. So I will, without any further ado, I will pass across to our guest. Al, how's it going?
Yeah, not bad at all, thank you.
Good man, yourself. Good man. We were just kind of chatting before. Al is based over in America. It's in the low 30s at the moment. I'm in County Down here in Northern Ireland, and it's, well, I don't know, probably struggling to make the 20s. It's tipping with rain at the moment, so yeah, nice the other side of the pond.
I'm in Texas. It's quite pleasant. We've actually been relatively cool for Texas this time of year, but it's still hot.
Okay. Cool. So we'll wait for a few people to join. Yeah, Al, if you want to spend a few minutes just introducing yourself a little bit, kind of your story. I think a lot of people watching this or who will rewatch this will know of you, or certainly be using your software. But yeah, if you want to explain a bit about your backstory, your kind of selling journey as well, would be interesting, and then what you've been doing with Selleramp, that'd be great.
Yeah, okay. I'm not one to talk about myself that much, so we might be fairly short. But I've got quite a sort of, I've done various things in this sort of online world. So I sort of started as in my Amazon journey, I started as an Amazon affiliate in the early 2000s. And Amazon were like the first affiliate program. But so I used to do quite well as an affiliate, and over time the Amazon affiliate program got sort of not quite as lucrative as it once was at the beginning. But so I've been involved with that, like the Amazon sort of selling side of it for like 20 odd years. But I actually moved to the sort of merchant side on Amazon in 2015. So I started, I think like a lot of people do, I just sold a few things from around the house. I think my first sale was actually a golf range finder that my father-in-law bought me for Christmas. I think I pretended that I could play golf. So he then started buying me golf things. So I never actually used it, and I'm not crap at golf. So I sold that. I did it FBM, but at the time I didn't really know the difference between FBM and FBA. But I remember selling it, and it sold fine, and that was great. Then early in 2015, and come the summer, I then learned more about FBA. So we'll give that a go. So I went through my house, pulled out a lot of old books, and a lot of old business books and personal development books, and a lot of old DVDs and CDs. So made a box up, sent those in to sort of sell. And I think the first one I actually sold was the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is quite coincidental. So I probably made a loss in it, to be fair. I didn't really know what I was doing. So that was in like June time, and then I started looking at doing OA and RA, sort of profit, actually buying things to sell. So I sort of started developing the software. Like with my affiliate business, I've always been sort of technology driven and sort of trying to automate things. So I had a lot of sort of software I developed for my affiliate days to generate either content or generate tools. So I've always created software to help me run my sort of businesses. So as soon as I started selling on Amazon, I started looking at developing software that would help to do my sales.
Wow, right, okay.
So
So
like,
yeah.
so from like 2015, like what it wasn't SAS then. I don't know. I think I had the name Seller. I can't remember where the name Selleramp came from, to be honest. But I started then doing NWS and creating software. My first bit of software was actually for tracking inventory, tracking sales, kind of like Selleramp is, to be honest with you. And then the profit calculator was just part of that. And then like, the profit calculator then sort of gave an offshoot to become SAS. And then I was going to go back to doing the rest of these sort of Selleramp suites, but then SAS kind of just took off, so I sort of concentrated on that.
Fantastic. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah, well, like my sort of Amazon journey, I think it's going to be very similar to a lot of people. So you'll start off doing it in the kitchen. I got to the point then of whether I kind of outgrew the kitchen. I had a very understanding wife who was using the living room. Then one of my friends had a business unit just on the corner from us. So he offered me a bit of his space. So I took that up, and then we could get pallet deliveries from distributors. So within like 6 months, we went from nothing to probably about 50 grand a month. But that would have been, say, OA, mainly OA and distributor and wholesale. And then my friend kind of got a bit sick of me, like I was taking up more of his space than he was. He actually built a mezzanine in his unit, which is now full of other stuff. He let me have that mezzanine for a time. And then I think it would have been, it started in the summer, it would have been the March or the following year when we got our own, sort of released our own units. And it wasn't huge, like 1,500 square feet. But then it meant we could sort of take deliveries, you get stuff out of the house. Saying that, I still filled up the house with returns and stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, I think it got to the point where it's either the case of going via a prep centre or getting my own space. And we worked it out where it's going to be more cost effective, the volume we wanted to do, to get a warehouse than it would have been to pay for a prep centre.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And yeah, you moved out to the States. Yeah, during everything, really, didn't you?
We moved to the US like a week before lockdown. So we effectively got to the US, went out for one meal, and then that was it. We were locked down. So
I hope it was a nice meal.
Yeah, I don't think it was actually. Like, fortunately, we were visiting the wife's family in San Diego, and they had like a spare sort of one-bedroom flat below their house. So we were able to sort of stay there for like 3 months before we could sort of move on to our final destination. And it's a really nice area. It's La Jolla. It's a nice area of San Diego. So we were very fortunate.
Okay, I've heard of that. So,
and it also gave me like 3 months just sat in front of a laptop. So like,
yeah,
software moved along quite nicely.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was, lockdown and COVID. It was obviously awful for a lot of people, but with all crisis, there's an opportunity in there hidden. So yeah, 3 months in front of a laptop would have been, quite a productive time. So yeah, I've got a few comments. So yes, hi Sebastian, hope you're well. Terry, I didn't know where. It's just right, okay. Yeah, we're working on that, Terry. So I've tried to pop a few links out to people and ask for them. So glad that you're here. And Mr. Sweeney, Gavin Sweeney, Al the Great, certainly. So yeah, I think recently we can see a little bit in the background with your branding and things. You were part of an event and a conference recently. Do you want to, if you could talk about that, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we exhibited at the Proven conference with Jim Cochran, a big group in the sort of US. So we sort of went there for it's a 3-day conference. We were meant to be there for 4 days. Our flight got cancelled, so we left for an extra day. But it was good. It's like the first time I've actually been out and actually met people since we actually moved over here. So that was one of our plans, to get to know people was by attending different meetups and conferences and things, and we can finally start doing that now.
Yeah.
We went to the Texas meetup last night. We're talking to a few sort of private label sellers, and hopefully they'll sort of get out and about a bit more.
Yeah, we were just chatting before. We're just back from Leeds and Bradford. Had our meetup on Sunday. Met up with Gavin, Adrian, chatted to Mark Clay for quite a long time on Sunday as well. And yeah, still can't get over how tall Gavin is. He's like giant. Yeah, really tall. So, but yeah, it's just like a different world, meeting up with people again and just having a crack. And yeah, so yeah, well,
I'd always recommend doing meetups if you can do it. They're so beneficial. Because I used to do a lot of like affiliate meetups a long time ago now, but I'm still friends with people in that space. But some of them have gone to do some huge things. A few of them like keynote speaking, and I've met this the founder of WordPress, like Matt Mullenberg. There's all sorts. You just don't know what other people are going to do. Like really, you meet people at different stages of the journey, and it can be very lonely in this business. We just sat in front of the computer. So getting out, meeting people, sharing stories, sharing knowledge, and helping each other out.
Yeah, it's great.
Close to Leeds, I would have been there on the weekend.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Well, we'll get you next time. We'll maybe have an event across the pond at some stage.
I've actually got quite a few friends in Leeds because I used to be in Nottingham. I'm from Hull originally. Then I was in Nottingham before I moved here. It was only about an hour from Leeds. One of my friends used to organise an entrepreneurial conference in Leeds called Think Visibility. And that was a really good sort of get together for all sorts of different business or online business models. Yeah, I'm kind of deviating.
No. It's yeah, like I say, I mean, it's pretty casual, the setup here. So yeah, we'll let people kind of drop questions or anything if you want us to cover anything. I think, I mean, me personally, I really enjoyed Sunday, and well, Monday and Tuesday were great as well, but the meetup on Sunday was, yeah, it's great. Obviously, I'm based over in Northern Ireland, so I'll certainly organise something. I've got a couple of weddings and things coming up, so I'm just trying to figure out what weekends are available, but we'll certainly organise something maybe for London. I know Gavin's based in Birmingham, so we could potentially do something in Birmingham, but yeah, if anyone's kind of interested in another meetup, then yeah, that would be interesting as well. So if you want to drop a comment about that, be good. So yeah, there's a few questions coming through. I think I made a few notes about a few things that you've added recently, Al, which was very interesting. We've got 12 people watching live now, which is great. So guys, you've got access all areas pass here. So if you want to speak to the developer of the software that you're probably using, then get your questions in and you'll get it straight from the proverbial. There's a question from Gavin. Is there potential variation viewer coming at some point? Would love to push SAS harder to my USA friends.
Yeah, short answer to that is yes. I've got half a dozen major-ish developments. A bit variation viewer, it's major, but it's not mega major. But it is high up on the list of what's coming soon. I'm kind of looking at different ways to do it. I've got to get data from multiple places. And I think I can do it better than I've seen anywhere else. So yeah, it is on the way, and when it gets here, it'll be good.
Cool. So you've got big kind of, well, we call them rocks. So you've got 12 major developments that you've got. Yeah,
like I started off this year having 6, and it never reduced. I'd always be adding to it, and then when we're doing things, we're adding more things at the same time. So I think I can sort of think of like 6 major things I'd like to do. Like the sort of major ones recently were like the interactive keeper charts. That's a pretty sort of a major addition. We improved the sort of the search method that includes like storefront search and new stock, and this sort of enhanced storefront search that we just released was new. Some of the major developments we do you'll never see. It's more sort of back-end structural and some things you just have to do to make things work better. But there is at least half a dozen major things that I will be adding probably throughout the rest of this year. Because originally it was going to be 6 months and it'd all be finished, apart from like little sort of ongoing things. But I thought so much of the stuff we can add in, it's going to be another 6 months. So I think it's going to be a rolling 6 months and it'll be finished.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you mentioned, well, I mean, we're talking about meetups and things, but was it right that you added the meltables after a suggestion from the Proven?
Yeah, because like, we must have demoed to probably about 50 different demos when we were there. And we're getting lots of feedback. And one thing we found, we do a demo, we say, we use quick info first to decide if you're going to buy a product or not. You normally reject things like quick info stage. And then we go down to check the alerts and to reject things. And it's like, instead of doing quick info going to alerts, why don't we just move the negatives from the alerts or duplicate the negative from the alerts in the quick info? So then you can just look at the quick info. Like,
I see it.
When you're analyzing, 9 times out of 10, probably more than that, you're trying to get rid of stuff that isn't suitable. So one of our philosophies are, we answer like 3 questions, which is like, can you sell it? Does it sell? And is it profitable? And like, can you sell it? We answer that basically by legibility, the various alerts we've got. And yeah, and people say, oh, can you check if it's meltable? And like, at that time, we're like, no. But then I actually looked into that. As we were delayed by a day, I actually implemented most of that in one of the, we had to get a changeover on the way back. So I was sat in Dallas Airport, the bar in Dallas Airport, implementing meltable. So I think we got back the Friday, and that went live on the Sunday. And things like what people suggest to us and we can learn from it. Yeah, if it makes sense, we can do it. We will do. So yeah, so that's like meltables got added really quickly. Then we looked at moving so important alerts into the quick info. So it's just one less place you have to look when you're analysing.
Yeah, that's great. I tell you what we'll do. I think we talked about doing a bit of a walkthrough. So one of the major things that you added recently was the storefront feature. Yeah. So I know that's went really well with some other things that we've done, Al. So we'll do a walkthrough, share screens. Well, you can share your screen, and we'll do a walkthrough of what that feature looks like, because I think, yeah, just for whatever reason, it maybe gets cleaned over. We'll do that, and just if there's any questions as we're going through the walkthrough in general, or specifically about the walkthrough, or just in general about SAS, because I've seen Sebastian's put another suggestion there, which is great. I think what we'll do, we'll cover all the suggestions towards the end, so we'll allow people kind of 8-10 minutes to watch the walkthrough, and then they can add, and I'll do like Q&A at the end, or after about this back half an hour, if that makes sense. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So I'm just going to so bring this over. Okay, and then I need to hide Mr. Al. Okay, cool. So we figured out that we could do this with Al hidden and Al doing the walkthrough, me just kind of fielding questions and things. So can everyone hear Al if Al's kind of talking through what he's doing here? I can hear you fine, guys. I can hear you fine, Al, but yeah, guys, if you can't hear Al, let us know and we'll figure something out. But yeah, if you want to crack on, Al, and do a bit of a walkthrough on the storefront feature. Oh, Sorry, Al. I think we've had a few people say that they can't hear you. We can see the screen but can't hear Al. Right. Yeah, we tried this before, but we'll just go back to what we were doing. So I'll dip out, if that makes sense.
If I can just check it, can people hear me? Hello? Right, I'm speaking, hopefully you can hear me. And let's mute. Can people hear me here? No. So I've seen some yeses, so hopefully you can see my screen and you can just see me in the corner. Okay, cool. Right. I'll start just explaining, like with SAS, there's like 3 tools. There's Chrome extension you can use on any website, web app, and a mobile app. And they're all like interfaces or windows into the same SAS analysis information. They're just different ways of getting to the product. So like Chrome extension, you can use it on any website. Like the mobile app, you can use it in store, whether you're doing a text search or you're scanning a barcode. Then like the web app, you've got like your full desktop screen. And they all show the same settings, they've all got the same history. So what I'll do, I'll do this with the Chrome extension. So with the sort of Chrome extension, here's Argos, which I'm sure many people have recognised and probably sourced from in the past. Now I'm trying to position my windows so I can see if any messages come in. So the way on Argos or any website, the way you'd access SAS, you just right click on a link, menu comes up. So we'll do select the SAS on it. And what SAS is doing, it's searching Amazon for this product. So with this one on clearance from Chad Valley, Chad Valley is one of Amazon's own brands. So in the sort of search screen, what we want to do is try and give you enough information to decide whether it's the right product and if you want to analyze further. Because like, as I said earlier, like 9 times out of 10, when you're looking at products, they're not suitable. And we'd rather get you to the rejection phase as soon as possible so you don't waste your time doing like full analysis, only to find out at the very end it isn't suitable. We'd rather you reject a product at the earliest possible time. So with this one, it's £7.50. We can see it's on here, it's going for £13.49. We're showing the max cost of £6.5. So what the max cost is, in your sort of SAS settings, you say the minimum return on investment you want to make, the minimum profits you want to make, how much your sort of your prep costs are and things like that. And then we will calculate the max cost to meet your criteria. So we're saying it's £6.05, that's £7.50. So you could either reject that because it doesn't meet your criteria, or you could go into it and get further details. Like I did with these demos yesterday, the first product I checked was like really good. So I'm actually going to use that one again, which is actually this Peppa Pig picnic set. If I just right click on here, do the SAS again. So it's going for like £6 there. The first product that comes up is $14.99. So Amazon's on the listing, $14.99. You've got 7 FBA sellers, 4 FBM. So we need a max cost of $6.88. That is below our £6, obviously is cheaper than that. And it's in our BSR range. So with this one, just click it to go into like full-on SAS analysis. So what we're doing here, like the product panel at the top is what you'd use to identify and make sure it's the correct product. So you've got the image there. If I click on it, you can do like multiple images. So looking at that, yeah, that looks like it's the same product to me. You could always go into the Argos page and like look at more images on the actual product page as well to confirm it. I did that yesterday. It turns out the barcode is different, but the product is the same, which when it's something like that, that's kind of good because a lot of the automatic software, if it's matching on barcodes and not products and images, they're never going to be quite as good as if you're doing it manually yourself. So doing a product like this, it isn't going to get picked up by something like tactical arbitrage, FBA wizard, or whatever, because like there are sort of differences which computers don't see, but the human eye does. So yeah, so use product info to identify, make sure it's the right product. You've got like your dimensions in here. You've got the Amazon key points. If you wanted to go to the Amazon listing, you could do, or you could actually search Google directly from here to see where else you could buy that from. Then so the quick info is where all the key information is. So from here, it says we're eligible to sell it. We've got 7 sort of green alerts, which basically means it's checked sort of 7 things that could raise an alert on. As they're all green, you don't see any issues. So if we knew of IP issues, we'd indicate it here for its private label. If it's oversized, like this is where the new meltable indicator goes. Next up, on the sort of BSR, say 77,000, it's in the top 2%. So in my sort of SAS criteria in the settings, I said I am looking for products in the top 2%, and as it's in that range, then it sort of highlights it green. If it wasn't green, sorry, if it wasn't in the range, it'd be red. So it's got a really quick visual way for you to see it. I'm showing like estimated sales, say 18 a month. As that's information, that's just in blue. So the max cost is like what I explained earlier. So with this one, we've got a quick sort of profit calculator here. So if I put in sort of £6, then it will instantly calculate what the profit is, what the return on investment is based on your settings. It's taking all the Amazon fees into account, your VAT scheme into account, any prep fees you have, any sort of inbound shipping fees. So you can use that to reject most of the things you're going to reject. You'd reject at this stage. With something like this, I'd probably buy it at that stage. But if you do want to dig deeper, we've got interactive keeper charts. So you can see them either on the page like this, or you can open them up into a new window. You can also you can pan back and forth on the charts. And you've got your regular, you can do like a zoom into any specific sort of time period. And they're all driven from like the actual Keeper data. So we've like a developer subscription with Keeper. So we pull the data in from them to do the analysis. And so you can open them in a new window. You've got a direct link to Keeper as well. Like, I won't go into a full Keeper tutorial. I know Gavin, who's on this call, he's done one recently, which is, I think it's really worth a look. I bought it, but I've not had a chance to look at it yet. But it is on my list, Gavin. So ranks and prices, we're showing it, both like the current ones, but generally I wouldn't recommend just using and basing a buying decision on the current price. I'd be looking at your 30-day average or the 90-day average, and then also charts. And a lot depends on how much you're spending. Like if it was a clearance item and I could only buy 5 of them, and say the investment's only going to be like £50, I wouldn't spend as long investigating that analysis as I would if I had to buy 100 units from the wholesale. So I think depending on what you're sourcing is how deep you want to go into the analysis. The thing that we added recently is offers. We're showing you the different sellers, what their stock counts are, what their prices are, how much your profit would be if you matched their price, and what your return on investment would be. We could quickly filter this if you just wanted to look at the FBA offers, so you like your prime only, or if you want to do your prime and your FBM. So one of the things that we added recently, we added about 3 months ago to do like a storefront search, but we just improved it, the storefront search, this week. So what I'll do, I'll look for a seller that isn't too new. I don't want to do a storefront search on somebody that's just started out. So I'll do this guy. He's got 157,000 sort of ratings. Yeah, we can do his store. So just click on this. So what this is doing is effectively, it's like when you do a storefront search on Amazon, but we give you more information. Like we tell you a bit about the seller. We tell you approximately how many ASINs they have. So they've got 218,000. We're showing you what the top brands that they sell, what the top categories that they sell in. And so this is this product list is live from Amazon now. But what we can do, we can very quickly just filter this. So you want to look at the toys and games. This then filters their products on these toys and games. Or you can do it on they say the different brands, like Penguin Classics. So it's a quick and easy way to actually look for sort of different sort of product suggestions. So if you've got somebody that's always on the same listing as you, say you subscribe to a deal service or whatever, and they're on the same listing, buying it from the same place, you could always do like a storefront search, see what else they get. Are they finding things like you're missing? And this is sort of, you can do a brand filter on an Amazon storefront. You can't do a category filter normally on an Amazon storefront. So this it's a new thing like we've had with Founder way of doing it. It works quite nicely. If we go back to the sort of SAS screen, the profit calculator, that's basically, it shows you a breakdown of how we're doing the calculations. So it shows you how we're calculating the maximum cost. It's showing you what all the different fees are, how the VAT is calculated. You've got a few extras, like if you just want to break even, what that price should be, what your profit margin, etc. So those are the main panels you'd use sort of in sort of the analysis phase. And one thing we want to do is we don't just want to do analysis sort of now on one product. We maintain like a history of everything you ever scan. So if you scan the same product again and you'd entered the cost before, we'll show you in sort of, you've got, think about the panel enabled. So you look at details, yeah, I've scanned this before Argos. If I'd entered the cost price, it would have been there. So with your history, if you go back to that, also you've got like a team of VAs where you employ shoppers to go out. They'll have the same history. So what we can also do in the history, you can apply tags. So everybody's got a star tag. You want to star things of interest, and you can create your own custom tags. So whether you want to create like a replenishable list or a shopping list, and then you can search these tags. You can filter these tags.
I just thought I'd just cut across you there, Al. I mean, the history thing is great. So just for example, I had to go to Homebase to get something for the shore a couple of weeks ago. Nipped into Smith's, had a clearance on, so I thought I'd spend half an hour. Cleared them out of 800 quid's worth of toys. So because I'd scanned everything, I could say to my team, I need these listings created and stored in purchasing, because yeah, I can kind of lean on them to do that, so they could just jump in, see what I scan, see the price, and then they've put that into USS and done it that way. So the history is really, really useful. It's like just a great feature. So yeah, thought I'd cut across you there. Sorry, Al.
No, that's fine. So if I go to the history, we can search it by, it'll search any notes that you leave, or search any product title, or we can just filter it. I just want to see the star items, apply that. Then it's just the different items that I've sort of starred in the past. And when we first did this, it was for creating sort of lists, and so the idea behind it was creating a list for a VA, creating a shopping list. But different people we found are using it in different ways, like building a replenishable list, building we're going out to the shops. Let's create a temporary tag of what I want to buy at Tesco, or you could create a 3 for 2 tag. So yeah, I like this product, but only when there's a 3 for 2 sale on. So you just create a special tag for it. Then when that 3 for 2 sale happens, you can filter it that way. So the history is a really important part of that. So we've had the history from the beginning. So I know with mine, I've got thousands of items from when I first started. And once you find, when you sort of been selling for a while, you forget stuff like you've scanned. You forget. You don't only you're going to forget the prices. You also forget some of the products. I know before I had this, I've bought the same product more than once at different prices, just because I forgot I'd sourced it before. So yeah, the history is really useful. Then we've also got like your Google Sheets, so you can export to Google Sheets. You have more than one sheet. There's like just all the information you see in SAS. It's very configurable. I think we've got about 60 different fields you can export now, and you can also export formulas. So you can do some really powerful stuff in formulas. Like you can actually do a formula to actually generate a keeper chart in your Google Sheet. But like anybody that knows about spreadsheets, you can do just like anything with a formula. So integrated, I'm trying to show you it. I won't go into all the panels because then it just gets a bit much. So really what I just wanted to do was like cover the main sort of like fundamentals of sourcing with SAS, where you've got the quick info, like the panels that you'd use to making your analysis. Then you've got like your history and your notes, which you then use to when you sort of go back and looking for the items and looking at things that you've done in the past to sort of learn from. Is there any other sort of questions or things you want me to cover on?
No, I thought that was great. Yeah, I mean, guys, if you found that useful, the storefront and the history side of things, yeah, drop a comment if there's any questions. Oh, what was that?
As I go and buy the Peppa Pig picnic set. I've shown this twice now, so I'm sure that listing's going to get a few people on it.
Yeah, everyone, well, it's Peppa Pig. It's going to sell. Everyone loves Peppa Pig. Okay, so question from Zebo. Sebastian, based over in Germany. Hope you're well, buddy. So the question is, there is the offers panel. I think it could be helpful to have a kind of setting an offset for competitive pricing, considering only the sellers in the seller count, which are in the price range of 5 to 10% above the current buy box price. For example, you have 20 sellers, but only 5 have a competitive price in this range. Then the competitive seller count would be 5, which could be considered for the suggested buy quantity. So interesting. So yeah, if you had, say, 20 sellers, I think this is what he's asking, Sebastian's asking, if you had, say, 20 sellers and there was a wide range of prices, then it would disregard the 15 that aren't competitively priced, and you would then base your purchase quantity on the 5 competitive rather than the 5 competitive and the 15 that aren't competitive. I would say that, I don't know. I was saying now before this that I haven't really done any away in quite a while, but I would say that you might see that less and less in the UK because it is quite competitive. I don't know. Maybe in Germany they would have like wider range in pricing. I don't know. What would you say, Al?
Because we don't recommend a purchase quantity, because what we do, we give you the information for you to make an informed decision. We don't recommend buying this many or that many. Like we do an estimated time to sale, which we actually base on. We do your estimated sales per month, and we do the estimated time to sale. The way we base that is like what your price is, how that compares to the other people that have offers, how much stock they have, and we do actually take into account a percentage of anybody within like 3% of your price. Let's say you're going to share the buy box with them. So everybody cheaper than you has got to sell out first, and then you're going to base a calculation on like within like 3% range of the price sharing the buy box, if that makes sense. But like really estimated time to sale, like if it says it's a day, yeah, you've got to take it with a bit of a pinch of salt, because like prices change, other sellers can send more stock in, totally out of everybody's control. So the way I'd use that more is if it was a high number, like say 40 odd weeks, then I'd really I want to look into why it's going to take that long. Whilst if it was a lower number, then I'd be using experience and looking at the other sort of offers and the other sellers, making a decision. Like if you're doing RA and RA, and you're not buying massive quantities, then it's going to sell. But if you're looking at investing a lot of money in buying like stock in bulk, then it's a different sort of analysis like we do. Like
especially with restock and kind of IPI happening at the moment.
Yeah, and like if you're doing like replenishables, you want a fairly static price. You don't want to see lots of people coming in and out of the listing. And like you're not going to be buying from clearance. You're going to be buying. It's a static price. You're probably not going to be making as much profit depending on how good you are at sourcing. So there's a lot of different. Because I think a lot of business books will say you want to sort of diversify your income streams.
Yeah.
Also, you want to diversify your sourcing methods. So whether you're doing RA or a wholesale, and if you're doing RA, I'd also diversify your criteria. Where some things I want to make more profit on, but they sell slower. Fast-moving things, might want to have a higher profit margin, but I know the volume's going to be there. So, like, it's not one of those questions of, well, this is a good buy or this is a bad buy. It really does depend on a lot of different factors. So we've been asked before, why don't you give it a score? And that's the reason why we don't give it a score, because we want you to diversify. Like a score for like one product isn't going to be the same as another. But you could be sort of sorting in store, well, here's a product, it's not on sale, it only makes this much, but it sells this much, but it sells a lot faster compared to this one. It doesn't sell that fast, but it's on clearance and the profit margin is massive. So I'll buy it. It might take 6 months to sell, but I'll know I'll make decent money out of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's numbers and then there's also context, I suppose you could call that. So yeah, that's a very interesting point to make.
When I was sourcing and sort of buying and selling, I would often, so I employed a girl to go out doing IRA. We'd often buy quite a large sort of number of products, or let's say if it's the same product, say we bought 100 units, I would sell the first sort of 20 or so to sort of get the money back and sort of make the sales. But then we'd save some for Q4. So we wouldn't, even selling the same asset, we'd be using different strategies with the same product.
Wow, okay. So you would say buy 10 of a product, sell maybe the first 4 or 5 to break even, or whatever it is, and then keep the rest as bunts, really?
Yeah, because we used to buy some like end of line from a distributor, and we had to get those by the pallet load. And with those, we'd sell some of it as quickly as we could, just to get some of the money back in, and then we would hold on to it. And some of these products we'd hold on to for 2 years. But advantage of having a warehouse and having space, so you can just put it in the sort of corner of the warehouse. Everybody else has sold out in a couple of years. We've totally control the buy box. But obviously, there's some space to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some. It's funny. Eamon and I were talking about this morning, actually, with Lego. Yeah, you can certainly hold on to Lego for. Yeah, and make your money when. I mean, the sales rank doesn't even need to stay the same. When the sellers come off as a discontinued.
I know a few people that use Lego as their savings, where they invest their money into Lego, and then even I know people do it with Amazon sellers that just always buy sort of 2 of the same one for the kid, one goes in the loft as a sort of inheritance or whatever. But I know some pretty big Amazon sellers which, when they need to raise capital, they just sell some of the Lego that they've got, but they've got hundreds of £1,000s worth of it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Steve JJ is singing your praises. It looks like he's on a beach somewhere too. So, hi Al, looking really well, mate. That move to Texas has done you really good. Made you look 10 years younger. So, congratulations. Yeah. Thomas, hey Al, loving the updates to SAS. I am doing deal analysis checking on USA now. Hashtag excited. Love it. Hi Thomas, how's things? Terry, notice the integration with, Well, this will be interesting because I've not used it at all. I know the team have used it a couple of times with the free trial. I assume AH is Arbitrage Hero. Is that correct? What is the integration what is the integration with AH? I've enabled this, I think, but not really used it. Can you click straight through to the items from there? So
yeah, let me. If I go back to the, I'll just do another screen share again.
yeah, sure, yeah. Let's do it. Takes a wee second. Okay, I'll.
The arbitrage here, that's Argos to say to Amazon. So the way, if you have an arbitrage hero subscription, you'd say which site you want to look at, which category, and it'll do the search. The way we've integrated it is when you're looking at an ASIN, if you enable the panel, we will show you where AH says where else you can buy it. So like with this one, you can get it from the range at $6.99. There's got another listing on the range at $11.99. If you follow these, that will then take you to that website. And I know they had some matching, because like when you're doing matching like this from one site to another, it's difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. And I know it's made some massive improvements recently with its sort of matching algorithms. So say if you do, let me do a different product, do Plunk. Pretty sure this isn't a profitable buy. They do a search for Plunk. There's obviously a fair few different ones. Go for the first one. Actually, it's going to. So we need a max cost at $7.33. It's £10 there. So if we did sell it at £10, you're going to be losing a bit of money. But I'll sort of scroll down. Okay, so it's not actually found anything for Plunk. Like I say, Chad Valley is Argos's own brand. It should only find. This is a Paw Patrol. Like obviously, I've not tried any of these. Like $17.50, that looks expensive to me, so I doubt it's a good deal. So with this one, you can see it's $17.50. Amazon has $17.50. They might be matching Argos. Don't know. FBA is 32. FBM is 29. Yeah, I'll look at that actually, just in case Amazon are matching the Argos price. And yeah, as you're looking here, yeah, they are normally. Yeah, so this might actually be profitable because normally you're selling it at. So normally it's 30. We can get it at $17.50. Okay, return on investment, it's not great. It is matching my profit criteria, but I was going to show you how to show it. So when I'm sourcing, it's like, oh, is that a possible product? So that's one of the ways where by seeing the different prices, Amazon might be matching the merchant you're looking at. So it is worth looking at what the lowest FBA or your lowest FBM is. So let me just scroll down to arbitrage hero. Oh yeah, so it's found it on Argos here. It hasn't found it elsewhere. A quick one on PJ Masks. I don't know if it's that product or not. I'm just going to go in basically more to see what Arbitrage Hero is showing. Yes, so you can get it from with this one. It's from BM Stores, like $12.99. If we go back up. Yeah, it is £18.30. So it just by using the integration, it gives you other store ideas, and also you might think you found a great deal. It's quite nice to see it like if it confirms like yeah, you have found the lowest price, or it might find a lower price for you. So if you've got an Arbitrage Hero subscription, it will automatically do that search in SAS. Whilst if you haven't got an Arbitrage Hero subscription, what we do, we give you like 10 free searches a month. And we also show you what the sort of store count is. So with this one, it would show you Arbitrage Hero has found one store, and that's the lowest price it's found. And then you can click through that like 10 times to see what store it was. So even if you haven't got an AH subscription, we still display information from there if the panel's enabled. Whilst if you have, then we display more information from there. And I say, like Max has done a lot of work on his matching algorithms recently. Yeah, it's getting good. There's some sort of good people in the Amazon community, and I'd say Max is certainly one of them. Okay.
Cool. We haven't really looked at Arbitrage here, or I haven't been asked to look at it. How much is Arbitrage Hero? How does it work?
Off the top of my head, I think it's either going to be 30 or 40 pounds a month. But like it works in a very similar way to like Source Mogul. Well, I think Source Mogul and Arbitrage Hero a similar way where they scan things and cache them in advance. So when you actually do a scan on them, they're very, very quick because you see what the previous scan they've done. While things like Tactical Arbitrage and FBA Wizard are a lot slower, but when they scan, they start to scan when you ask them to, if you know what I mean. So
yeah,
the same sort of as using for the same purpose, but they work in different ways. So like with all things
might
like
add
that,
it.
give it a trial go and see if it works for you. But I think it is a nice integration just to see when you're sourcing, just see where products are available, can be available elsewhere.
Okay, we'll discuss it tomorrow. I'll just make a note in my head for my own business. Okay, great. So a few other comments. Yeah, so I know Andy had put a quote, a comment in regards to a meetup in London. Yeah, I do want to organize another one for London or Birmingham, somewhere like that. I'm going across to London in a few weeks. It's just, yeah, could do something. So it'd be good.
I'm going to be back in the UK at least twice next year, and I want to come back. I want to come back on business, so I'm going to be doing meetups when I come back.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Yeah, expense everything off. So Zibo, we've covered Steve, Thomas, Terry, Andy. Yes, Max did it. Yeah, caught up a little bit now. Found some great high cost items using it. I assume that's in regards to Arbitrage Hero. Annie Henry has put together an introduction to Arbitrage Hero in the last few minutes. Unbelievable. Well done. I'll do some updated ones now that Max is. Oh, right, fair enough. Keen on meeting Master Al. Yes, the Yoda of the Amazon community.
So they go quite that far, but thank you.
The force is strong. Okay, so let's see. I think that's, yeah, David Twomey. Really love SAS, glad to be using it. Thanks. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, what I would say is that we've kind of got everyone in that comment group, and yeah, there's your business now can kind of be whatever you want it to be. So there's me, and I've got 4 sourcing VAs, and they all use it. It's great. They're able to access the history. So yeah, it's been amazing. Just in terms of the value of the value of it, and yeah, well, here's that. We didn't talk about this, so you're not prepared. I mean, I can't remember it being down at all, really. If it has, I haven't been told that it has, if that makes sense.
Don't say shit like that. I was just asking for trouble.
Touch wood. Yeah, so, well, yeah. No, I can't imagine. Yeah, it hasn't been down in I think we started using it January last year.
I think I had a scheduled blip. Well, it wasn't a blip, it was scheduled, but I had to upgrade some servers a good few months ago now. I'm like, yeah, like downtime does happen. We've been fortunate where we haven't, I think we've only had scheduled. But yeah, it's technology, it happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for, what is it, $16 per month for the app and the web browser as well. Is there anything kind of big you want to talk about with the app or anything like that?
We actually literally did a new release of the app. We went live last night, which it fixed a couple of things. We had some interference going on with Bluetooth headphones. That was just a very bizarre one to try and solve. But we got to the bottom of that and fixed that. I mean, on some iPhones, there's a bit of a stability issue when you're with the orientations, and with an iPhone having a notch in, it makes them a bit of a pain. So we had a stability issue there, which we just fixed. So that went live yesterday. Yeah, since I got back from this conference, I think we've had about 4 pretty big live things. I know what's on my sort of development roadmap. I say variations is very high on the plate at the moment.
Cool. Yeah. Well, there's a real testimonial. So from Terry, mobile app is why I chose it over the others. Yeah. If I've had to scan a few things, it's lightning fast, and yeah, there's nothing else close to it, in my opinion. So yeah. Cool. So, yeah, if there's any other questions, feel free to drop them in before we finish. But yeah, I've really enjoyed that. I think it's been great. Couple of kind of things for housekeeping. So, if anyone watching this is in the AAB Blueprint program, Mr. McCaffrey, Eamon, is taking the coaching tonight. And he's looking forward to he's an ex-school teacher, so we'll be basically taking a roll call of people who said they'll be there and not. So yeah, make sure you're there for that. There's a few things he wants to cover. So yeah, the replay will be available in the mastermind group as well. Next week we have, what would I call it? Luke Squared. We have Luke Filer and Luke Dugan chatting tomorrow. This time next week, not tomorrow. So this time next week, we've got Luke interviewing Luke Dugan and talking all things Amazon. So that will be one not to miss. And I'm pretty sure that's it for housekeeping. Meetup on Sunday was great. So everyone that attended, thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed it. So it's great to meet up with everyone. And is there anything that you want to add Al or talk about?
Not really. I suppose I should say what the prices are and stuff like that, but that's a bit salesy, so I don't do that.
No, well, I mean, it's is it 12 and 16 or something like that? It's
it's $11.95 for like install it on 2 extensions, 1 mobile, 1,000 scans a month, or it's $15.95 for it's like 3 phones, 5 extensions, and unlimited scans.
Yeah,
so we've also got the US testing as well now, and we're just testing in Canada as well. So we are supporting the Canada marketplace. That was the other sort of major addition from I think that was on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's something to talk about then. So, yeah, just to echo what Andy's mentioned. I mean, I have a team of 4 people and me using it for 16 quid a week, 16 quid a month. So, yeah, £3 or £4 each. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. So,
I was at the sort of conference, they're asking can we get rid of Keeper? I would never recommend getting rid of Keeper because there's a lot of stuff you can do Keeper. Keeper's great, but we do this. So our charts are driven from Keeper data, and I was just looking they're actually cheaper than the Keeper subscription, which we probably shouldn't be, to be fair. But
no, I mean, cheap at twice the price, I would say, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think anyone would. Yeah, bat an eyelid at another couple of quid, but yeah, it's insane. It's really, really good.
You'd be surprised. We offer a 2-week free trial. We have got people that will just try and do the free trial forever and never buy. We know it happens, and it's kind of if a tool helps you, you should support the tool provider. Anyway, I'm working on grants.
Well, no, I think it's fair enough. It's your no. Well, yeah. So America, do you want to talk about America and Canada and how that's going just before we finish up?
Yeah, we've supported the US marketplace for a long time, but we haven't publicised it. And like we've added Canada in beta now, so we've got a few people sort of testing that. Not had anything back so far, which is normally a good sign. What you find is people are loud when they complain, but they're kind of silent when they don't. So if anybody's selling in Canada, let us know. We can send Canada on your subscription, and like US is available to everybody anyway. And like if you are a SaaS subscriber, you'd rather be subscribing in US dollars than sterling, let us know. We can sort of switch you over, or we can stop London to start again. But the US exchange rate's killing me at the moment because I'm transferring sort of sterling from. It seems whenever I do a transfer from my sterling account to my USD account, the dollar gets really strong afterwards. So I'll just kind of lose money.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, guys, if you want to reach out to Al, yeah, it's always available. Facebook. If you enjoyed the live, yeah.
Sorry,
like.
One last
go on then.
Yeah, well, we're looking at doing a monthly getting started sort of live, probably a Zoom session. So I think we're going to do that. I think we're looking at the first Wednesday or the first Tuesday of the month. So what it will be explaining your settings, explaining how to use SAS. And yeah, we'll do that to sort of all subscribers or any new subscribers. So
cool.
It will be getting started, explaining our settings and how to get the most out of it, rather than. We'll see how that goes, and we might go in to do some more in-depth tutorials at a later date.
Cool. Sounds great. Sounds great. All right, guys. Well, listen, we'll see you next week. Thank you again, Al. Been great having you here. And yeah, stay cool, guys. Have a good one.